What's up, guys? AWP here with another video and with another roster review. That's right, man, bro. We are here with another roster review, but this time it is the 2025 WWE roster, bro. You guys have been wanting this for a long time, man. You've been commenting, yo, when you gonna do the roster review? When you gonna do the roster review? For like, hey, I got y'all, man. I do. So finally it's here, but to be fair, I did record it earlier, and man, when I tell you, OBS hold me. OBS really hold me, man. Like, OBS is always holding me, but OBS really hold me on this one. Because not only was I recording the video, I was giving a performance of a lifetime, and it seems like that's always the case whenever I'm giving a performance of a lifetime in a video. OBS always finds a way to just completely shoot my confidence right down, giving a performance of a lifetime. I'm really getting in all my ish, and OBS is just like, nope. So that's basically what it does. Like, that's basically what it did in the form of, like, not even having any audio in the video. And I forgot because now I'm on a laptop instead of my PC. I basically had to start everything over because I couldn't import the settings I had on OBS onto the OBS on this laptop. So I essentially had to start over again, readjust the audio settings and all that. So yeah. And, now we're here, but at least I believe I got it under control now. I did some test recordings, and everything sounded great, so we shouldn't have any problems this time. Keyword on shouldn't, because, man, I recorded the video, like I said, really giving the best performance, and the video was like 2 hours long, like, literally. And, man, when I tell you I wasted literally most of the entire day doing that video, man, because I was trying to do it the first time, I got interrupted, and had to go do something. Second time, I got interrupted, had to go do something. Third time, finally got it recorded with no interruptions, but then the OBS audio thing happens. So it's like, wow, there's a lot of stuff really working against me when it comes to trying to get this video out. So God willing, we're gonna be able to do it this time. And hope to God we don't have any issues. Seriously. So yeah, dog. Let's just with all that being said, man, let's get into it, bro. So yeah, let's go down. And oh yeah, I'm gonna explain kind of briefly what I would have in my WWE. So in my WWE, it's like in a sense it's my WWE, but I would have different authority figures in it. Like this is just how I'm molding and shaping WWE through my kind of eyes. So yeah, and that's basically how it is. Brand split from this point forward is completely like it's dead. It's done. It's over. Because I don't see a point in having a brand split when you don't really have enough stars currently on the roster to warrant such a thing. And I think it's better to just focus more on like the top talents being the top talents, the mid card being the mid card, and stuff like that. So in my WWE, I got one main roster show, which is Monday Night Raw. I have like one developmental show, which is NXT. Evolve doesn't exist in my universe because there's no need for two developmental shows. It just doesn't make any sense. I feel like it's a waste of time, money, and resources. It's like you got to pick either Evolve or NXT. I'm choosing NXT since it's more established. And whatchamacallit, and NXT will be going on Tubi instead of being on cable television because the ratings for NXT are just piss poor, and they're naturally going to be piss poor because no matter how good the shows are, if you don't really have stars like that, and you don't really have a reason for people to watch when they can just watch the main roster stuff, there's like it doesn't give people much of an incentive to watch NXT. So why have it on cable? Either make it a Netflix exclusive, Peacock exclusive, or better, exclusive to Tubi, where everybody can see it for free. I feel like that is perfect. That's the best idea. So that's what I'm doing with that. Raw can stay on stupid Netflix, I guess. And SmackDown can stay on USA. SmackDown will be like the kind of show that's like a continuation of certain storylines in NXT and Monday Night Raw. I feel it's better to do that instead of just axing SmackDown altogether, which was my first idea, because SmackDown has too much history to it, and that would just be blasphemous in a sense. So yeah, we got one. So for both Raw and NXT, we got one main champion, one world champion on each show, one women's champion on each show, one tag team champions on each show. You have one type of mid card champion on each show. And I'm kind of debating on whether I want to add auxiliary titles, meaning like hardcore or cruiserweight or anything like that. But for now, I'm sticking with like the very main titles. So it just doesn't make sense to have a women's tag or women's mid card or like a speed championship. Like all that is completely meaningless. It's too many titles. It's using too many resources with nobody really getting over like that. It's stupid. So yeah, let's go ahead and go down to the rosters. Well, actually, since we're doing champions anyway, okay. First off, WWE champion out the gate, not gonna be Cody Rhodes. We'll just keep it on Roman Reigns for now until I think that someone else could be a better choice, like maybe Brock Lesnar or somebody. World Championship doesn't exist. No, get her out of here. World Championship doesn't exist because it's not a brand split anymore. World Women's Championship doesn't exist because it's not a brand split anymore. The WWE Women's Champion, I feel like it would be better to just have it be Bianca Belair or somebody. You can have Tiffany Stratton eventually win it, but for now, since Bianca's the most established talent, it makes sense for that to be the case. Intercontinental Champion, I guess you could have it be Braun Breaker, but I feel like he doesn't really need that championship because he's more of a world title contention type of guy anyways. I think you could really have that more on someone like maybe like either a Jey Uso who is in a sense over with the crowd. You know what? We'll just stick it on Jey Uso. Screw it. United States Champion, there's no need for it to exist now that there's no brand split. Women's Intercontinental Championship doesn't need to exist. Women's United States Championship doesn't need to exist. Speed Championships do not need to exist. And World Tag Team Championships do not need to exist. WWE Tag Team Champions, damn sure is not going to be no DIY. You can just put it on Street Profits for now. WWE Women's Tag Champions, there's no need for that to exist. NXT Champion, yeah, keep it on Obafemi. He's great. NXT Women's Champion, honestly, dude, God, it's really difficult to say who to really put it on. I think that could be the moment where you have like somewhat of like a tournament or something to put it on somebody, because right now I don't really know who's the proper choice for that. I can't say right off the back anyway. Sean Spears, North American title? No, Sean Spears is not going to be that. The North American champion could be Tony D'Angelo. Why not? There's no need for a women's North American champion. NXT Tag Team Champions are not going to be Fraxium. They're going to be, I guess they could be Theory and Grayson Waller, A-Town Down Under. Heritage Cup champion, there's no need for that to exist. Okay, so yeah, let's go through the entire current roster on NXT, SmackDown, and Raw. And starting with Adam Pearce, Raw GM, you're fired. Because you are a horrible GM. Even when you're trying to be assertive, which I appreciate, you fall flat. You're fired, and you will be replaced by Val Venus, simply known as Chief Morley, because he, from what I've seen when he was Eric Bischoff's assistant, I think he could be a great character on the roster. No nonsense, no BS. With maybe, yeah, I think he would just be great for that, and not afraid to tell it like how it is and assert his authority when needed. Plus, I feel like you could have a lot more interesting segments, a lot more interesting moments with Val or Chief Morley as opposed to Adam Pearce. My head immediately was thinking of Eric Bischoff, but Eric Bischoff is getting a lot older. So, I mean, it's I don't want to keep focusing too much on nostalgia acts necessarily. I think it'd be nice for the general manager of Monday Night Raw to have a new, basically a new face for the general manager role. I think. So, yeah. Either that or I don't know. Maybe you could have Shane McMahon be an authority figure. I guess. I don't know. Shane McMahon, I got something different for. But we'll get to him. Adriana Rizzo, I'm going to lump her in with the entire D'Angelo family. All of them are great. Keep all of them, definitely. But for now, keep all of them. I want to say keep all of them in NXT. Well, no. I feel like they're good enough to be on the main roster at this point. So yeah, they can be on the main roster. Why not? AJ Styles, we'll keep him around to let him have his one last run. AJ Styles has always been a great talent and all that, and he's great to have someone to have on the roster. Akira Tozawa, he's great. I would keep him on the roster because he reminds me weirdly enough of a Japanese Crash Holly, where he's this big little man, to where yeah, he's small in appearance but very big at heart. Even to the point where it's like Crash Holly, he brought the scale and weighed himself at 400 pounds. That was funny stuff. I feel like you could get entertaining stuff like that with Akira Tozawa as well. So keep him. Alba Fire, you're fired. Pun intended, seriously. Because Alba Fire brings nothing to the table. She should have been fired along with her partner. But at least I will say this: her partner had sex appeal. Alba Fire does not have sex appeal. She does not have sex appeal. She does not have charisma. She is not good in the ring. So if she doesn't have any of those features, then what the hell is she? Honestly. Hey, March, you can get mad all you want. You can get mad all you want, but it's the truth. So go fuck yourselves. This video's probably gonna get yellow because of that. I don't care. It's cool. Whatchamacallit? Alex Shelley, Mullen Shitty Machine Guns, awful, gone, boring, brings nothing to the table. Alexa Bliss, of course, we're keeping her. She'll be a main part of the women's roster. She'll be a very essential part of the very cream of the crop of the women's division. She's just got to let go of the Fiend gimmick, Fiend, Harley Quinn, Wyatt Six, Disturbed chick. She's got to let that go because it's not working. It didn't work before. It's not working now. The whole doll thing is really stupid, but she can keep the Sister Abigail, I guess, as like some sort of a tribute to Bray Wyatt. But give her at least give her that. She can keep that in her moveset or whatever. Who cares? Alicia Taylor, she's a great announcer. I guess she could be the announcer for like SmackDown. Mike Rome, he could be the announcer for NXT. And Lillian Garcia, of course, for Raw. It only makes sense. Andrade brings nothing to the table. He's just a boring guy who does 5-star matches. Andre Chase. Now, the Chase University gimmick is, I feel, something that only makes sense with someone like a Chad Gable. Andre Chase, he does bring a little bit of charisma, to the part, but unfortunately, again, it does not make sense with him because at least Chad Gable is an established talent. Andre Chase just seems like a guy that kind of came out of nowhere. So it doesn't make any sense for that to be a thing. So all of Chase U has to go, including Thea Hale and including Evan Bourne 2.0. So you're all gone with Duke Hudson. Angel Garza and Berto. I think both of them, it works. Legado del Fantasma can stay. I think they could be something very good, something cool. The problem is though, I don't see them as main roster talent necessarily. I feel like they still got some stuff to iron out in NXT. Kind of. But you know what? No, I'll give them a break. Legado del Fantasma can still. I mean, they're gonna stay regardless, but they can be on the main roster. But the thing about Angel and Berto, you got to go back to being the, very romantic Spanish guys or whatever. Got to go back to being that because this whole, we got these serious wrestlers, like serious luchadors. That whole thing is stupid. It's boring. It's going to make people tune out. You need characters. You need to be entertaining. You need something to stand out. Being serious luchadors is not standing out. It's not entertaining. Like, it puts people to sleep. So Legado del Fantasma can say, but you got to have Angel and Berto be the romantic guys. Who's like, basically, they can whoop your ass. But they can also still get bitch at the same time. Like it can happen. You can even have scenarios where they're like, kind of like giving random women kind of roses and stuff like that. And I think both these guys have what it takes to really get women falling for them and stuff. So you can give certain women roses and stuff like that. You can even have them get some heat to where it's like women that are supposedly not as attractive. You can have them act like they're gonna give them a rose, but then they completely Jake it right as she's about to grab it. So that could get them some heat. And I think it would give them some heat with the guys too, especially if the girls are kind of like falling for him and stuff. So that, the guys in the audience could probably get pretty pissed off about that. I think that'd be funny. A little funny thing. It'd be a little thing, but it'd be funny. It would garner them some heat too, and you could even have moments where they're trying to even steal girls from certain dudes on the roster. All right, so yeah.
$50 coupon just for inviting your friends to download TikTok and registering as a new user?
Yep. TikTok is now off $50 coupon to you for every new user you successfully invite to download and sign up. You can use these coupons in the TikTok shop.
Okay, wait. So as long as my friends have never downloaded TikTok before and I invite them to register as a new user, I get these coupons?
Exactly. And you know what? The more you invite, the more rewards you'll get.
whatchamacallit, yeah, I think that'd be a great thing to kind of do for them. And you even have moments where they're doing that and then getting into trouble on the roster and stuff. And every now and again, Santos will remind them, "Hey, stick to the task at hand" or whatever. So that could be fun. Street Profits, they will be an essential part of the tag division as tag champs. Yeah, I keep them around. Of course, they're great. Both of them have charisma. Both of them are great in the ring. Yeah, they check pretty much all the boxes. Um, Paulo Cruz, there's nothing for him. There's really like nothing for him at all. So yeah, straight up, uh, he's got to go. I'm sorry. The Nigerian Prince thing was great, but obviously I don't see that coming back. So yeah. Anyway, but anyway, Ariana Grace. Yeah, she's great. I think she has a ton of potential. It's not every day you see a Miss America type of thing in WWE. I think that could be very fun, especially whenever Santino makes one of his appearances, one of his like appearances or whatever. I think it could make for some really great and entertaining father-daughter dynamics. Um, but yeah, she could be in NXT for now to really kind of iron out her character and all of that. Ashante Diadonis, you could have some sort of like him and BFAB could have some very kind of toxic relationship, in a sense where they love each other one moment and then they're trying to make each other jealous with other people the next, and they get into these like mixed tag type situations or something like that. And just a very toxic black love type of thing, really kind of capitalizing on that whole popularity of shows like Love and Hip Hop, Black Ink Crew, Housewives of Atlanta, all that type of stuff. I think it'd be a great way to kind of capitalize on that for whatchamacallit, yeah, for them. So yeah, keep Ashante in BFAB. I think that'd be a fun thing to do kind of for NXT, but yeah. But yeah, keep both of them in NXT for that. I think that'd be fun. Asuka, you can have her be just like kind of how she is, but turn up the crazy. Because it's like make her more of a crazy kind of geisha or something like that, or make her kind of like a different spin on the Tajiri thing, where he would spit mist into people and all of that. Because I know they're trying to do that with Shinsuke, but it's not working with Shinsuke. Just leave all of that with Asuka. And of course, she will be a vital part of the women's division, definitely. On the main roster, of course. So yeah, Austin Theory, him and Grayson Waller, I feel like they both belong in NXT for now. They still got a lot to kind of iron out. I feel like both of them could be something really great, but right now it's like nothing's really going much for them. So I think they would be better off being in NXT as kind of like a main part of the tag division or whatever. So yeah. Speaking of NXT, Ava, she's a decent general manager. I think she's a decent general manager for what she is. Definitely keep her around for sure. And not only that, with that whole Cody psychopath thing with her getting death threats. I would have like if it were my WWE, I would have given her a raise. I would have given her a raise, or I would have like, gave her like a paid vacation, for however long she felt like she needed it, or like paid for therapy, just something. It's like because no one deserves to go through that crap, especially for a predetermined wrestling match. Like a bunch of psychotic ass marks. It's like these people are exactly what's wrong with wrestling now, dude. It's just a bunch of sick fucks. Imagine going to those links over a predetermined match. Sick pieces of shit. But yeah. Axiom, whatchamacallit. Yeah, for Axiom in general, just gone. No, they don't offer anything. They suck. They're just random cruiserweights that flip and kick. Like, we don't need more of that. We got enough of that as it is. BFAB, yeah, like I said, I already said what I said about BFAB. She can stay. Bailey does not offer anything. She had the hugger thing, which was great to be able to, like, market and merch sales and stuff like that to kids. But obviously, they kind of let that go in terms of her being like a heel, which has not worked out in the slightest. And now she's like a baby face, but she's no longer the hugger. It's just like, she offers nothing. It's like, she's like, like a bunch of horny simps would be like, oh, that ass. It's like, dude, we have enough women on the roster that have nice, juicy, big asses. It's like Bailey does not stand out, like, at all. It's like she's not that attractive. She's not really that great in the ring, and she has no charisma. So what does she have? Nothing. So bye. Becky Lynch, I love really that great in the ring, and she has no charisma. So what does she have? Nothing. So bye. Becky Lynch, I love the dig she had at CM Punk. I think that was great. I think it would have been better if she didn't delete it, but it was probably Triple H not wanting CM Punk to throw a little hissy fit backstage because he's got to keep the narrative that he's using CM Punk a lot better than Tony ever did. So he doesn't want him throwing a temper tantrum just like he did in AEW because he's got to still be competing with Tony and all that crap. So yeah, it's just really stupid. But I love that she called that out. But unfortunately, as great as that is, he still has to be let go because she just never offered anything, in my view, positive to the women's roster at all. She was just always very overrated, very just shoved down your throat. It's just, yeah, it's got to go. Berto, I already said what I said about him and Angel. Bianca Belair, she's great. She checks all the boxes. Not the DI boxes or anything, or something stupid like that. No, she checks all the boxes. She's got a little bit, she's got some charisma. She's marketable, especially with the little braid thing, and the little girls like to kind of like twist their hair like she does. She's great in the ring. She's got a unique look to her, and she's also very sexy as well, so that doesn't hurt either. So yeah, definitely top of the women's division easily, especially as the WWE Women's Champion. Big E, even though he can't wrestle, I feel like he could still be useful as like a commentator in NXT because the guy's got the voice, the guy's got the charisma for days. So if he can't wrestle, still use him in some sort of capacity other than just for the pre and post shows. I feel like that's just such a waste of someone like Big E's talents. Even though, yeah, the New Day was cringy and all that stuff, but yeah, even still, Big E is a very talented guy, a lot of charisma. Have him be, commentary for NXT. Blake Howard, don't know or care who he is. You're released. You're fired. Booker T, he's a legend in every capacity, both on commentary and in the ring. Like, he's literally one of my favorites of all time, and everything about him is just amazing. I'm just not gonna have him be the commentary on NXT. I'm gonna have him be the commentary on Monday Night Raw, along with Vic Joseph. I think that would be a much better choice, honestly. Or, no, him and Vic Joseph will be on commentary for Monday Night Raw. I think that's a much better idea. Um, and then Braun Strowman, his stock has gone down so low due to the stupid social media posts of the past and all that other stuff. And that's the thing. We are going to literally limit what the WWE superstars can do on their social medias. If they have a social media that's tied to the WWE, they have to keep it professional and keep it kayfabe. If they want to have a personal Twitter, they can do that, but it has to be so separate from WWE. It has to be. It has to have absolutely nothing to do with the WWE or their characters in any way whatsoever. Because you can't be making the WWE look bad. You can't be making your character look bad. It's just bad for the brand all around. So yeah. And Braun Strowman, I want to keep him because he's a very larger than life superstar. It would be such a waste to fire someone like that simply because their stock has gone so low. Like I think there's still a way that we can revive the career in the uniqueness of Braun Strowman. I think there's a way that we could still revive it. I want to believe anyway. So Brinley Reese, she's a new girl. She doesn't do much. She hasn't done much, but I'll give her a chance. She is young after all, so I'll give her a chance to see what she's got in NXT. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully she stands out in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is Brock Lesnar, bro. Like, of course we're keeping Brock Lesnar. I don't even need to say much. But yeah, what I would have is him eventually retire at maybe some point, or I would keep him around until he chooses to retire, or and then when he chooses to retire, I can have someone retire him, like a Braun Breaker. There's so many things you could do with this Brock Lesnar and Braun Breaker feud. Braun Breaker literally being the next big thing. It could be like Brock looking at a mirror to his younger self and it almost kind of frightening him in a way. But I mean, not to the point where he's like a scared little bitch, but to the point where it's like, oh wow, this is kind of crazy. And he feuds with him a little bit as Cowboy Brock, kind of like how Brock was feuding with Undertaker as like American Badass Taker or like Big Evil Taker. But then eventually he the feud kind of ends when he faces Braun Breaker one last time, but as the Beast Brock Lesnar instead of Cowboy Lesnar. I think that would be really cool to see, and it would be a great way for Brock Lesnar to really kind of go out. But yeah, for sure. And Braun Breaker, he's gonna be at the top of the card. He's the next big thing, of course. Yeah, definitely. He's gonna be one of the new faces of WWE. Of course, we're keeping him. OTM, they're a great tag team. I think they could really appeal to that trap, drill, sort of like gangsta kind of audience and all that stuff. You could even have them have cosigns with certain people in the rap game, like Chief Keef, all that type of stuff. I think that'd be really cool for their brand, all that, whatever. But keep them in NXT for now because I feel like they still have a few kinks to iron out. But yeah, a great tag team nevertheless. A good tag team nevertheless. Will be future stars, I'm sure. But for now, keep them in NXT. I think that'd be the best thing. But yeah. Bronson Reed, fired. Doesn't offer anything. He's just a fat guy. Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs, I would have them be the country boy tag team, the good mix of Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch and the Blackjacks. I think that would be a great thing to have that, almost kind of like an old school Southern feel. Yeah, that would be great. Keep them on. And matter of fact, instead of NXT, they'll be going straight to the main roster. So yeah, because I feel like their characters at this point, there's no kinks that really need to be ironed out with them. I think their tag team, I think that tag team's pretty established. I think everything it's pretty established with them at this point, so it's cool. The Creed brothers, I would say I don't know. I think for them, it would be best to kind of. Well, no, because since we're keeping Chad Gable, spoiler, and Chad Gable's kind of doing his Chase U thing, have them be on the main roster and be a part of the tag division. Why not? The two guys have a ton of potential. Byron Saxton, literally have his story kind of be similar to Coach's, where he's a backstage interviewer on Raw and everybody picks on him. But then one day he just gets tired of it, and Coach has to talk with him, Jonathan Coachman, and all that. And yeah, so they have and then Coach has to talk with him and inspires him to want to be his own thing, his own character, all that. And Byron Saxton becomes his own kind of character. So I think that would be really cool and really fun to do with Byron Saxton. Candice LeRae, gone. You offer nothing. You're awful. You're nothing but a Triple H BNG baby. That's the only reason why you stick around. Carly Bright, another young girl that doesn't offer much, but we'll see what she can do in NXT. Carlito, go back to being Caribbean Cool. No more of this Judgment Day Carly bullshit. Caribbean Cool, have him be kind of in a Miz role in a sense, where he's mostly in the mid card, but maybe one day it could be but maybe if needed, he can be that transitional world champion or whatever. But for the most part, yeah, just have him be a good, reliable mid card, heel. Matter of fact, you can even have him as the Intercontinental Champion at this point. Why not? Either him or the Miz can try. I don't know, but yeah. Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes has potential. I know a lot of people ain't really too hot. I know there's people in that I'm friends with that really ain't too hot on this guy, but I think it's I think he has some potential. I think he has something to really be great. I think it's a shame, and I feel like he would have benefited so much more from the Hurt Business being in WWE, because what I would have had planned is I would have had Hurt Business literally be like the Black Evolution, literally, because you could have had Bobby Lashley, who is the star, who's not just the muscle but the star as well. You could have had the Street Profits as the tag team in that group. You could have had MVP as the crafty veteran who wrestles sometimes, maybe not at all, but he does things kind of like how Ric Flair was. And then you could have Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes be kind of like the Randy Orton of that group, the next star in the making. The future. Even to I think that would have been a really great dynamic. Have the Hurt Business still stay, but yeah. But Carmelo Hayes still has potential, so we'll see what he can do. Keep him on the main roster is a mid card talent for now, but yeah. Kathy Kelly, the Marks really like her, but honestly, I don't really see much of a place for her, so she can go. Chad Gable, honestly, I think Chad Gable's cool. We're keeping Chad Gable, honestly, for everything I just said. Tony D, the Angelo family, keeping him. Charlie Dempsey, I don't really see what you could really do with Charlie Dempsey. I mean, I guess you could have his dad manage him. and I guess something can come from that. So I don't know. We'll keep them for now, but he could just be on NXT until he has more of a character to like flesh out. Charlotte Flair, fired. You offer nothing and you're overrated. Chelsea Green, you offer nothing and you're overrated. Notice, yeah, they're already fired. CM Punk, you're fired. You're fired 5 times over. You are not only a locker room problem, but you are just a cancer to professional wrestling in general. You are gone. It is over. You stink. Like, it's like, no. And then on top of that, your fans are just way too annoying. Nah, you're fired. It's over. Speaking of fans who are annoying, Cookie Rhodes, his fans are annoying. He's incredibly overrated. He's shoved down people's throats. He is one of the worst WWE champions in history. He is a complete disgrace to that belt. He really is. The same belt that guys like Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, Batista, John Cena have won. He is a disgrace to the entire legacy of that belt. Even Alberto Del Rio was a much better champion than him. Jinder Mahal was a much better champion than him. Ridiculous. Just awful. It was like, no, he's just got to go. It's over. Poor Jade. I almost would have kept her. I would have kept her in NXT to see what she can do, but her problem is that she's way too injury prone to the point where she's more of a liability than an asset. So she's got to go. Whatchamacallit, and Corey Graves. Corey Graves, he can be on commentary with Big E on NXT. I feel like that would be both better since they're both NXT guys. So I guess it would make more sense to really because they got that sort of roots with NXT. They know more about NXT and the significance of the NXT championships and all of that. So I feel like both those guys would be perfect for that brand on commentary. So it works. I mean, I'm kind of against the whole having 2 wrestlers kind of thing. I really am. But Corey Graves has gotten more to the point where he's a little bit more known as a commentator than he ever was as a wrestler. So I'll allow it. It'll be rare for NXT. So yeah, there you go, I guess. It'll be like and I guess that's, yeah. So even still, LWO, Cruz del Toro and Jacqueline Wild, gotta go. You offer nothing. You're just random luchadors. Bye.
Not that one. He'll be wide awake. Yeah, that flight.
Fly at a time that aligns with nap time. That's what the world's biggest airline can do for you. Both of you.
Dakota Kai, you offer nothing at all. Bye. Damian Priest. Now, some years back, I would have said fire this dude, but honestly, he's really kind of coming into his own. I think, like, to the point where he's coming into his own, not necessarily top star, but I feel like he's another one of those guys that could be a very, like, great addition to the roster. Very much appeal to that goth, very much appeal to the metalhead type of audience as well. And stuff. I think he could be one of those guys that's like, again, like Carlito, like Miz. He can be in the mid card mostly, but if he is going to be in that World Championship run, it'll be really more as kind of a transitional champion. So that's really just kind of it. But yeah, keep him for sure. Danny Palmer. She's been in NXT forever and has not done or amounted to jack squat. Fired. Dante Chen. Yeah, it's like, he's a young guy. Keep him in NXT to see what he can do, I guess. Dexter Lumis, gotta go. You don't really bring that much to the table, honestly. And the Wyatt 6 thing is a complete clusterfuck. But yeah, gotta go. Dominic Mysterio. I don't feel like he's main roster ready. Not really. He's a great heat magnet, but I think he's a, hold on, as it just went out for a second. But yeah, he's a great heat magnet at all, but I just don't feel like he really does really anything that significant on the main roster necessarily. So I feel that he's someone that could benefit in being in NXT for a little while longer. But you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like he could benefit in being in NXT, but you know what? Nah, screw it. Against my better judgment, he can be on the main roster, but he'll just be more relegated to the mid card. Until maybe one day he can get to that top star level. But for now, he'll be relegated to the mid card on the main roster. And Judgment Day is not a thing, by the way. They're broken up. It's over. It's whatchamacallit. Like, because all Judgment Day really is just a dollar store version, is a bargain bin version of an already overrated group into Generation X. That's all Judgment Day has ever been, ever since they kicked Edge out of the group. But yeah, nevertheless, I know that's a hot take, but yeah, whatever, cry about it. Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee, keep him in NXT for a while. I'm sure he could be the next great luchador, possibly, maybe with Rey Mysterio and his tutelage or whatever, but keep him in NXT for a while. Just, yeah, keep him there for a little bit, or, yeah. Drew McIntyre. Oh, dude, Drew McIntyre is great. It is criminal the way that he is being booked. But of course, it only makes sense because maybe he doesn't kiss the proper amount of ass. The Triple H or whatever. Maybe Triple H. I feel like it's just Triple H being intimidated by Drew McIntyre and how much of a star he is. He's more of a star than Triple H has ever been or ever will be. Because at least Drew McIntyre kind of earned his way to being the star that he is, as opposed to Triple H just literally got by based on who he knew and who he screwed. So, yeah. But yeah, Drew McIntyre, he's another guy whose stock has gotten so low due to bad booking and all that. Not even due to social media, but bad booking. Literally on Triple H's part. Vince McMahon booked him so much better. And yeah, I think it's a shame. I think I want to keep him around because I feel that it would be such a shame to fire and let go someone like a Drew McIntyre. I really do. I got to stop doing that with the clicking. And yeah, but yeah, it would be such a shame to lose out on someone like a Drew McIntyre. Honestly. So yeah, Drew's definitely going to stick around. We're going to find a way to build him back up, like to really make his character whole again so that he could be an essential top part of the main roster. Eddie Thwart. At first I was voting to release this dude because he's like kind of a mark. That whole promo with Trick Williams. Oh, you're just an entertainer. I'm like, oh, dear Lord, you are literally just another guy. You're another mark who values wrestling over being entertaining. That's awful. And then you're with Dakota Kai. So not only are your views on wrestling questionable, but your taste in women apparently are questionable too. So yeah, but even with that, still, I feel it's been a while since we had a Native American character on WWE. I think he could add something really unique to the roster with that, but it doesn't have to be the very stereotypical Native American thing. I think he could have a very great sort of modernized take on that sort of deal. I think he really could. I think that's really great. That could be something really great. If booked properly. So yeah, for now we'll see. Is that guy driving on the sidewalk? Oh no, I'm sorry, I got distracted. But yeah, whatchamacallit? Yeah, so we'll keep Eddie Thorpe around, but we'll keep him in NXT to flesh out his character more. Idris Onofe, keep him in NXT to see what he can do. Pretty deadly. I guess keep them on the main roster for now. I feel like this is a team that could be something great, and it would be such a shame to fire them. Like they could be something potentially great. So yeah, definitely keep Pretty Deadly. Eric Rowan, there is no place for Eric Rowan, sadly, on the main roster or any part of the roster at all. In my personal opinion, it's just he's just a guy that's there. I think WWE threw him a bone because of Bray dying, but this isn't about sympathy. It's about like, okay, are you the best guy for the spot for this TV show? Because we need to be focused on getting asses in seats and getting people to watch the show. It's like, what can you realistically do with Eric Rowan? He's just there, so no, he's got to go. Sorry. War Raiders. I was thinking of like a Viking type thing, with a modern Viking type thing with them, but I don't know if they would have the talent to pull off a role like that necessarily. So just release them. Ethan Page, like we have enough cocky heels on the roster, and he doesn't stand out in any real way whatsoever. So Ethan Page, bye bye, you're fired. Eric Rowan fired. Or the War Raiders fired. Fallon Henley, she's kind of coming into her own, the country girl type of thing, whatever. That's kind of cool. And even as a heel, she's kind of coming into her own too. But she can stay in NXT for now to really kind of flesh out more her character. Finn Balor fired. You offer nothing, and you're an overrated internet darling. Gigi Dolan, I feel like she's cool. I don't really know what she could. But she could be on the main roster. I'll move her up to the main roster. I feel like she could be something great for the women's division on the main roster. Why not at this point, since we don't have Mandy Rose anymore? And a lot of people love Gigi Dolan. She's really got sex appeal for fucking days. She's also got charisma. She's pretty good in the ring too. She checks all the boxes. So yeah, have her on the main roster. Yeah, in the women's division. Let's do it. Why not? Julia, it's like she doesn't have any. Yeah, she's decent looking. She has no charisma though. Is she good in the ring? I mean, she's kind of boring to watch. Honestly, her matches like literally make me fall asleep. So there's just nothing exciting about her. But I'll keep her in NXT for now, so she can like. I'll give her a chance. I'll keep her in NXT for now to see what she's got. But yeah, just not doing anything for me right now. But hopefully one day that can change. She's really got to work on that English though. But I think that's where staying in NXT might help her. Grayson Waller, I've already said what him and Austin Theory could be in NXT. Gunther, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. You are fired. You stink and you're overrated and you're boring. So yeah, I don't care if like Undertaker speaks highly of you. I don't care if Vince Russo speaks highly of you. I don't even care if XDN speaks highly of you. No, sorry, gotta go. You're boring. With all respect due to those guys, still, no. Hank and Tank, keep them on NXT for now to see what they can do, I guess. Isla Dragunov. Now, my first thought immediately would be to completely fire this dude because he's kind of an overrated internet darling, but in a sense, maybe I kind of want to make, because I have this idea, since he does the whole kind of like, symphony type thing and conducting thing in his entrance, why not have him be the maestro of WWE, in a sense? Have him be kind of that, have him want to be called maestro, but when people call him like Ela or Isla Dragunov or whatever, that could piss him off and he gets into such a rage and wants to fight them and beats them up and stuff. I don't know, I guess it could be something cool, like, but you could maybe just have him be like, I don't know, I guess you could have him be, I guess to kind of flesh out the mid card a little bit, you could have him be, well, nah, keep his ass in NXT for now until he can flesh out the character properly. But I wanted to bring that Seinfeld gimmick over to wrestling. I think that could be cool. Hopefully he can execute it well. Hopefully, but if not, he will be released. Viking Raiders gone. Ivy Nile, since the Creed brothers are staying, she can stay too. She can be on the women's main roster. Io Sky offers nothing, like, at all. She's just generic Japanese girl. Like we don't need that. We have Japanese at home. Like, come on. It's like, oh, she's great in the ring. Not really. Not like she makes me fall asleep. She's another flippity kickety internet darling. We have too many of those, and I am doing my best to try to purge the roster of that as much as possible because we need people that are going to be entertaining and that are going to stand out. Io Sky does not stand out. She is boring in every facet, and she's been on the roster, main roster, for how long, and she still has not brushed up really on her English much. What are we doing? No, bye. Sorry, but WWE is a mainly American company. Yeah, it's World Wrestling Entertainment, but it's a mainly American company, so you're gonna kind of need to like Americanize yourself in some way, shape, or form. If you can't, then you're not a good fit for WWE. Sorry. Them's the breaks. Izzy Dame. Izzy Dame. Keep her in NXT to see what she can do. Whatchamacallit? Jackie Redmond. I guess you could. I don't know, dude. Have her be the interviewer for SmackDown. Which I think she is. I don't really know. I don't care much to keep up with what she does. Jacob Fatu, he's great, man. Have him be like a monster in the mid card, bro. At least for now. I feel like eventually he could get to the World Championship, but for now, keep him in the mid card. He could be a great asset for the mid card on the main roster for sure. But JC Jane, the problem with JC Jane is she was always like the least exciting member of Toxic Attraction, and she didn't really bring much, I felt, really to that group. Just let her kind of flesh her character out a little bit more in NXT and see what she can do. Jade Cargill, she's not ready for the main roster. She was never ready for the main roster. It was a mistake to put her on the main roster to begin with, but of course Triple H, capitalizing off all that hype, and wanted to stick it to Tony Khan, did it anyways, because he's an idiot, and he's obsessed with Tony Khan and beating him. It's just so ridiculous. But yeah, Jade Cargill, I feel like she needs to be in NXT to flesh herself out a little bit more. But on the bright side, I feel like she could be at the top of the women's division in NXT. Maybe, maybe. But yeah, just keep her in NXT for now to really kind of flesh her character out. Same with Jada Parker. Keep her in NXT to kind of flesh her character out a little more, I guess. Jada, or you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. Jada Parker, you could actually have her go to the main roster. Yeah, why not? At this point, have her go to the main roster. I feel like she could be a unique addition to the main roster. Why not? Yeah. Jakara Jackson, she could be Sasha Banks, but leagues better. So yeah, keep her on the NXT roster for now to see how she could properly execute that boss gimmick, because we will literally just hand that down to her. Because I feel like she could pull it off way better than Sasha Banks. So way better than Sasha Banks ever could, in my personal opinion. Javier Bernal, I think he dates Tatum Paxley, but he's like a guy in NXT that doesn't really do much or doesn't really appear on TV. Oh my god, why? The hell? Okay, but yeah, I guess keep him in NXT to see what he can do. He's a young guy after all, I guess. Jasmine Nix, she's a young woman, attractive young woman or whatever. Keep her in NXT to see what she can do. JD McDonut. Yeah, no. Fired. Just like his mentor. Javon Evans, I think the kid's got a lot of potential. I think he could be a really exciting part of any roster, whether it's main or NXT. But I feel for now, let him be on NXT to really kind of flesh his character out or whatever. Yeah. The Usos, definitely keeping the Usos for sure. Both of them are incredibly entertaining. They're both established, and it works so well with both of them, whether as a tag team or singles. So yeah, keep them. Yeah, Jocko Wild, LWO gone. Gallus gone. I know I pitched on Vince Russo's live stream one time that they could be back up to Drew McIntyre, but that's if he sold his soul to The Rock. But obviously that didn't happen, so now there's really no purpose for them. So yeah, all of Gallus is gone. Everything about them is just boring. Even that song, that's stupid and it's boring. So Joe Gacy, there's so many things you could do with Joe Gacy. Oh my god, for real. Like a cult leader, you could have him be kind of a modern day Mick Foley. Oh my god, Mick Foley in a sense. It's like, dude, you could do so much with Joe freaking Gacy, bro. It is criminal that he's wasting his time with the Wyatt Six. Like, yeah, keeping him for sure. The possibilities with the creative possibilities with Joe Gacy are almost endless. Joe Tessitore, very boring, stale commentator. Gotta go. Fired. So yeah, with Joe Tessitore. John Cena, yeah, the guy's a star. He can be there up until he's ready to retire. Why not? Johnny Garbanzo Bean, DIY in general, gotta go. Neither one of them offer anything significant to the roster, whether it's the tag division or otherwise. Both of them are overrated and they suck, and they should not be the tag team champions. They stink. But yeah. So yeah, anyways, DIY, fired. Jordan Grace, fired. I know she just got there, but she's already fired. Because all she is just another one of Triple H's fetishes with muscle women that have no charisma or character to speak of. They're just chicks who have muscles. Like, we have Bianca Belair, who has charisma, who is also attractive. And, like, we also have Jade Cargill, too. So it's like we really don't need a Jordan Grace at all. We really don't even need a Rhea Ripley at all, but I'll get to her later. But Jordan Grace, fired. Josh Briggs, I've already talked about Josh Briggs and all that. Creed Brothers, I've already talked about Creed Brothers. Kari Sane, random Japanese chick. Bye. You don't offer anything. Carmen Petrovic. Let her be in NXT for a while to see what she can do or whatever. She can even be involved a little bit in that B-Fab and Ashante Adonis kind of storyline in a sense, where he's dating her to make B-Fab jealous. And you can even kind of capitalize a little bit weirdly in real life to how it is. So like the toxic relationships, like, of Young Black Love, and then you have Ashante date her, and then you could make it kind of like this weird kind of thing where B-Fab gets extra pissed off because it's like, oh, you dumped me for a white chick? Oh, no. That's good. Like, you still get extra mad because I think that could be funny and that could like weirdly translate to real life, because sadly that is a thing. It's somehow more offensive if you like when you're out of a relationship with a black girl and then you date a white girl after her. It's like somehow that's like taboo. That's the worst thing you could do. But then again, for the other side, it's also very weird because some brothers will feel like it's an upgrade if you date a white chick or a non-black chick over a black chick. It's really weird. But I don't want to get into that right now. But I think it could be a very fun thing to do. But for now, just keep Carmen in NXT to see what more she can do. Whatchamacallit, Karrion Kross. Oh my god, dude. Just like Joe Gacy, the possibilities are fucking endless. Except with, unlike Joe Gacy, this is a guy who should be at the top of the card, who should be like a multiple time world champion by now. It's like what they're doing with this guy or not doing is criminal. Like, come on, man. Of course we're keeping Karrion Kross. And then, the Whoop Whoop girls. Whoop Whoop. Yeah. Since we don't need a women's tag division and neither one of them offer anything substantial, bye. Kalani Jordan, let her be in NXT for a little bit to see what, kind of like flesh her character out and really kind of see what she can do. Yeah, I don't, because just because Carmelo Hayes is her boyfriend, it doesn't mean she automatically goes to the main roster. It's like, no, Carmelo Hayes has potential and has been an established talent somewhat. Kalani Jordan has yet to be that yet, so yeah, keep her in NXT for now. Kelly Kincaid, she could be the interviewer for NXT, why not? Kendall Gray, let's see what she can do in NXT. Kevin Owens, honestly, man, there's nothing fired because there's just nothing you can really do with Kevin Owens. Like nothing about him is like star that screams star to me. Is he decent on the mic? Yes. Does he have some fun matches? Yes. But that's not really enough if you don't really exude star power. It's like because we're looking to, for the most part, make characters and larger than life stars. Kevin Owens does not have that, and you cannot do that really with Kevin Owens. Really, you can't. Not really. So he's got to go. Kiana James, I want to see what more she can do in NXT. Pretty Deadly, I've talked about them. The great thing about the New Day, before I would have voted for these guys to be released, but you know what? At this point, both of them could be very useful talents in the mid card. I feel like they could be very useful talents in the tag division too. It's like I feel like there's things you could still do with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, except you could have Xavier Woods be more closely tied to the video game aspect of himself. That could be really cool. And then Kofi Kingston, he's an established talent, so. But yeah, for now, and I like this new sort of heel thing that they're doing with New Day, but it just obviously has to be better booked or booked at all. But yeah, we'll keep the New Day. LA Knight, obviously we're keeping him. The guy's a star. He's gonna be at the top of the card. The guy like checks all the boxes, even if he is a little bit older, whatever. Lash Legend, she has potential for sure. I think she definitely does. I feel like she kind of needs to like flesh her character out a little bit more before we move her up to the main roster. So I'm gonna have her in NXT for now. I think that would be the best thing. Keep her in NXT. Lexus King, he's someone I would automatically go ahead and move to the main roster because he's got tons of potential. The guy's got some talent there, charisma, all that type of stuff. Yeah, for sure, man. So yeah, we're gonna move him up to the main roster definitely. Yeah. So all right, yeah, Lexus King will move up to the main roster. He'll be in a mid card for now, but maybe one day slowly make his way to the World Championship. But yeah, Lillian Garcia, of course we're keeping Lillian. She's great. Like Liv Morgan, I guess we can keep Liv Morgan. She could be somewhat of an essential part of the women's roster. She's decent for what she is, so yeah, let's keep her. Logan Paul, there's nothing that really needs to be said with Logan Paul. The guy is a star. The guy is a great talent all around. So yeah, let's just keep Logan Paul. Keep him obviously. Yeah, well, like he could be in the mid card, but maybe one day win the Money in the Bank, which will get a ton of heat at WrestleMania, and maybe cash in his opportunity at Mania, or either that or cash it in some other way, and it will get the heat so bad people will be pissed because this guy who's like apparently such a bad person on social media or whatever, like winning like the main belt in the WWE will just piss wrestling fans off so much. That would be so great and so fun to capitalize on. So yeah. Lola Vice. Yeah, I'll move her. I guess I'll move her up to the main roster. Yeah, why not at this point? So yeah, Lola Vice stays. The hips don't lie for sure. Everybody in the Tony D family stays. OTM stays, of course. Ludwig Kaiser. Like, he's literally just a smaller Gunther. No, I'm sorry. Bye. Gunther stinks. And it's crazy because the one member of Imperium that actually had any potential with Giovanni Vinci, they fucking fired. He was the only one in that entire group that had any bright side to him. And Triple H, like an idiot, fires him. So yeah, Ludwig Kaiser is fired. He sucks just like Gunther. They could both be fired together. Lyra Valkyria, I'll let her be in NXT for a little bit more to flesh out her character. Malik Blade, let him be in NXT, see what she can do, see what he can do. Mark Coffey, Gallus, gone. Maurice, she's a part of the roster. Okay. Yeah. Definitely, I would say, yeah, she could stay, for sure. She could be Mrs. Manager or whatchamacallit, or something like that, I guess. But, yeah, she can, but yeah, I guess she could stay rather as a manager or as, like, to compete. She's cool either way. Maxine Dupree, she could be a modern-day Stacy Keibler. There's so much of a bright side to Maxine Dupree, and I feel like she could really capitalize on that sex appeal, too, that she has. So, why not? Megan Morant, I don't know who this is, but, yeah, fired. Michael Satomura, God, another random Japanese chick. Come on. That offers nothing. How many of these people do we have on this roster? That needs to stop. She's fired. Are you kidding me? Michael Cole, not only is he going to be fired, he's going to be humiliated during his firing. We are going to absolutely bury him. I am going to fire him 10 times over. He stinks. He sucks. He is the worst commentator and most overrated commentator to ever exist. The only reason why he was ever decent is because of who he's always worked with. And that's what it is. These marks just want to say that he's the GOAT because they know a lot of Attitude Era fans and Ruthless Aggression Era fans say that JR and King are the GOATs, which they are. So they want to have Michael Cole be like the GOAT because he's called so many of their favorite moments, like the Daniel Bryan thing and the Cody Rhodes. So now they want to say he's the GOAT because of that. Nope, sorry, he's not. He's annoying and he sucks. Might even have Brock Lesnar at 5 on his way out, maybe. Whatchamacallit, Michin. Wish I could say there's something for her, man, but she don't really offer nothing. Not really. So yeah, she's gonna have to get fired. Bye. Mike Rome, NXT announcer. Street Profits, of course, they're staying. Mr. Stone, I feel like he could be a great assistant manager, a great assistant general manager to Ava in NXT. I feel like that's the best thing you could do with him at this point. Either that or be a manager for somebody or some wrestler at some point. But yeah, for now, yeah, we'll keep Mr. Stone. Miles Bourne, keep him in NXT to see what he can do, but maybe one day you could have him be Orton's apprentice. I would very much like to see that happen. That could be really cool. Naomi, it's fitting that Naomi and Natalia are like right beside each other, honestly, because these are two very established women's talents, but the problem is neither one of them have ever really stood out really in any meaningful way. And then plus they've pretty much done everything there kind of is to do in the women's division. So it's like both of them are just better off being trainers at this point. And if not, then they could just be fired and go somewhere else because I don't know what more you could do with these two, with either of these two. Praxium, I've already said is fired. Nia Jax, she'll be an essential part of the main women's roster. Of course, she's a monster heel. Nick Aldis, seeing as we would already have Chief Morley as the general manager for the main roster, and we already have a general manager for NXT. I don't really see what the hell the point of having him would be because he's really not a good general manager like that to begin with. He's an all right general manager, but yeah, that's it. Nikki Cross, fired. Nikita Lyons, she's got to try to lose some weight on the butt a little bit, so maybe she don't get injured as much because I feel like that those injuries are what's really holding her back. But I feel like if she could do that, I feel like she'll be great. She could have the potential to be something great, but I'll keep her in NXT for now. She's just got to lose some weight a little bit so that she won't get injured as much because you can't be kicking around and stuff like that and have all that, dragging all that wagon at the same time. It's just, like, it doesn't help you. I don't see how that helps. But yeah, she is really athletic. I think she has potential to be something great. But for now, keep her in NXT. Or, you know what? Yeah, keep her in NXT because she's too injury prone right now. So I would say have her on the main roster, but she's too injury prone for that. So yeah, keep her in NXT. Noam Dar, fired. Obafemi, an essential part of of the top talents in NXT. Keep him in NXT for now, but he will be main roster bound one day. Speaking of main roster bound, Oba almost is, almost. Yeah, it's good to see him back on the active roster. He could obviously be Braun Strowman's rival and sort of equal, in a sense, modern day Great Khali, Giant Gonzalez, or whatever. Yeah, definitely keep almost around. Ora Mensa, keep him in NXT to see what he can do. Otis, one word or one name, Chris Farley. That is all. That's all you need to think about. That's all you need to think about when booking Otis. Seriously, it's not hard. Pat McAfee. God, he's really, really annoying to me. But I guess if you needed to have someone, I mean, because we got Vic Joseph and Booker T for Monday Night Raw on commentary. We got Corey Graves and Big E on commentary for NXT. And then we got whatchamacallit. Then for SmackDown, we could have. I mean, we could bring Taz back, and then I guess we could have him team up with McAfee on commentary. I guess. I don't know. Paul Heyman. Of course, we're keeping Paul Heyman. He's going to be Braun Breaker's manager. Penta, we'll keep Penta. He could be a great addition to the mid card on the main roster. Those shirt or not shirts, but masks will sell like crazy. So that's another thing. He could also move merch as well. So that should be fun. That should be great. Pete Dunne, fired. Piper Niven, fired. R-Truth, of course we're keeping R-Truth. He's essential, like, either as a comedy guy or if he's being back to serious R-Truth. You can, there's stuff you can do with R-Truth. He's great. He's talented. Randy Orton, of course we're keeping Randy Orton. Like, he's a top guy. He's going to still be a top guy on my WWE, of course, on the main roster. Raquel Rodriguez, at first I was thinking of firing her, but I don't know. I guess you could have her be on the main women's roster. I guess for now you can have her be a bodyguard to, like, Tiffany Stratton. I guess for now you could have that be a thing, I guess. But yeah, so we'll keep Raquel Rodriguez, I guess. Rey Mysterio, of course we're keeping Rey. It's Rey Mysterio. Come on, man. Rhea Ripley, oh my God. Honestly, dude, the fact that she's already like a rip-off China, the fact that she is one of Triple H's pet projects, the fact that she's overrated, the fact that she has a very annoying fan base and just does not really bring much to the table at all, even to the point where Triple H is even getting tired of her ass, kind of. Yeah, she's got to go. She sucks. Ridge Holland, I guess keep him in NXT to see what he can do. Yeah, Evan Bourne 2.0. We already have enough flippity-kickity guys. We don't need more. Bye. Robert Roode, he had such potential when he first came to the WWE, and neither Vince nor Triple H ever capitalized on it. Obviously, he's a lot older now. Like, the moment has passed. So, yeah, like, I guess it's like, yeah, fire. Unless you're just going to have him be a producer, like a backstage producer or whatever. But otherwise, fire. I hate to say that about a talent like Bobby Roode, but yeah. Roman Reigns, dude, he's the biggest star in the company right now. Of course, yeah. Of course we're keeping Roman. It's not even a question. Roxanne Perez, you know what? CM Punk shit aside, overratedness aside, I will keep her in NXT to see what more she can do, to see how she could properly establish herself. Because she's got a lot working against her. The association with CM Punk, the annoying fan base, the lack of charisma. the very small childlike build. She's got a lot working against her, but I am a very fair man, so I am going to, you know, give her a fair shake. I want to see what she can do in NXT. So there you go. Um, Ryan Papola, don't know who this is, but your ass is grass. You're fired. Sami Zayn, sorry, buddy, but you're fired. You had some entertaining moments here and there, but you don't really stand out in any really meaningful way. Whether it's in the mid-card or otherwise, you're fired, just like your buddy Kevin Owens. Santos Escobar, I've already talked about how Legado del Fantasma can stay and how they're essential, so yeah. And he's already the better version of Andrade, so yeah, keep Santos for sure. Zara Schreiber, don't know who she is. She can go. Yeah, she's fired. Scarlett, yeah, keep her, of course. Especially, and then her and Karrion Kross are pretty much a package deal anyway, so yeah, of course we're keeping Scarlett. She's great. Scott Stanford, don't know who that is, but you are fired. Seth Rollins, oh god, Seth Rollins, dude, I'm gonna be real with you. It's like, I just don't really know what the guy brings to the table, man. Honestly, I love the fact that he hates CM Punk. So do I. But I guess he had something kind of going for himself in the past, but I just don't really see what you can really do with him now. He would just be taking up space on the roster. So yeah, no, you're fired, Seth. Unless to be fair, since he has established himself a little bit on the roster, keep him until he decides to retire, I guess. I don't know. Shane McMahon, I am giving the company 100% the Shane McMahon. Straight up. Even though I'm the one kind of like, making the decisions in this video. But for the most part, Shane McMahon is the new owner of the WWE. Unless if he wants to have it be, well, I don't feel like The Rock really needs the position. So yeah, just have Shane McMahon 100% in control of the company. Straight up. Sean Spears, fired. Fired. He should have never been brought back. How do you, this guy's an NXT lifer and he's like pushing 40 or pushing 50 or whatever. And he still has not done anything really all that great to stand out. Still, after all this time, being in WWE, being away from WWE, you still have not stood out in any meaningful way. You're fired. Really? Yeah, she sucked. Anyway, Shayna Baszler, same with her. Fired. Like, Sheamus, he could still be an essential part of the top card for the main roster. He could be there up until he retires, so that's cool. Shitcake Nakamurphy, fired. Just a random Japanese guy who's never offered anything substantial. Shotzi Blackheart, she is a very, I would say, very interesting talent. I think she could be an essential part of the women's main roster. Yeah, why not at this point? So, yeah, keep Shotzi around. Sol Ruka, I want to see what she can do more in the NXT. I like the surfer girl kind of gimmick, but I want her to iron it out a little bit more in NXT. Solo Sikoa, I don't feel like this is a guy who was really ready for the main roster in a sense. But you know what? At this point, fine, whatever. Well, no, have him be in NXT because it's like he's not. Like, bless his heart, he's really trying and he's really kind of developing himself, but I don't see what he really brings to the main roster right now. So just keep him in NXT for now. Stephanie McMahon, fired. Fired. Straight up. Stephanie Vakir, I'll keep her in NXT to see what she can do. Hopefully she can, like, Americanize herself a little, like, get the English a little bit better, and get herself an actual character. Just being random Spanish chick with the devil horns is not working. So, but she's in NXT, so she's got plenty of time to develop. I think, she's young, so it also doesn't hurt that she's attractive too, so that works. Stevie Turner. I don't think we need 2 assistants for the GM role in NXT. We don't really need that. I don't really feel like we do anyway. Unless if Stevie Turner can be the assistant GM, can be the GM's assistant on NXT for Ava, and then, oh no, because she doesn't really have any career. Stevie Turner's fired. I'm having to think too much with her. Damn it. Shit. The Tonga brothers, fired. They don't offer anything. Not really. Tamina, fired. She's, like, just been taking up space. Tank and Tank, I've already talked about them. Tatum Paxley, she could be that random crazy chick that has, like, a strange amount of sex appeal to her. She could be that on the main, but she could actually go to the main roster. Like, most people would say she's not ready for the main roster, but you know what? We can get her ready for the main roster, damn it. So, yeah, she'll stand out for sure. Heavy on Heights, keep him in NXT a little bit to see what he can do. The Miz is established. Keep him around. Thea Hale, fired. Tiffany Stratton, she could be an essential part of the women's division for sure. She could almost be like a little bit of a case like Logan Paul, to where she could win the women's championship, where she can have her moment at WrestleMania and maybe cash in at Mania or maybe cash in at some other point to be the champion. Titus O'Neil, keep him as the ambassador for the company. Tabasco sauce, gone. Yeah, no, these 2 teams, gone. Tony D, of course we're keeping Tony D. It's only natural. Trick Willie, yeah, we're keeping Trick Willie, man, of course. We're gonna move him up to the main roster though. Yeah, for now we'll have him start fresh, kind of in the mid card, but eventually he will, especially with his charisma, and all that. I feel he will be ready for that top spot at some point, but I don't feel it's the good move to rush it now. So yeah, he can go to the main roster and be a talent there. Triple H, fired 100 times, 10 times, fired so many times it's not even funny. Well, actually it is a little bit. Ha! But yeah, so yeah, he will be fired and he will have a humiliation ritual in a sense. I would almost say I want Brock Lesnar to F5 him, but to be fair to the guy, he's got a pacemaker, so I don't want to kill him. Come on, that's psychotic. Tyler Bate, fired. These 2 guys, I will give them a chance to see what they can do in NXT. Uncle Howdy, fired. The Wyatt 6 is a total fail. Valhalla, fired. Nick Joseph, Monday Night Raw. Wade Barrett, fired. Wendy Chu, NXT to see what she can do. Wesley, NXT to see what he can do. William Regal, have him manage his son, I guess. But other than that, I don't know what much else you can do, but keep him around, sure. Wolfgang, yeah, Gallus fired. Win Sinclair, keep her in NXT to see what she can do. Xavier Woods, have him be the video game guy, or have this New Day heel type of thing. I kind of want to see where it can go, so keep him, obviously. Zarya, fired. Ugh, fired. It's like no charisma, boring in the ring, and damn sure no sex appeal. Who besides these marks that want to get penetrated to muscle women are going to get their dicks hard to that? No, sorry, fired. Fuck out of here. Another Triple H muscle mommy prep project. I'm tired of it. Okay, Selena Vega. I want to say that there's something for... There's not. I'm sorry. She's just got to go. You're fired. Sorry. Bye. And then last but not least, Zoe Stark. Fired. It's not even a question. Bye. All right, so, yeah. Those are all of the people from Raw, NXT, and SmackDown that I would fire or that I would keep. So, you know, if you like, so let me know what you think in the comments down below. Just don't be a crybaby bitch about it. But if you are, you already know what's gonna happen to your comments, straight up. Or if you don't know, now you know. Like straight up, real talk. If you liked the video, thank you very much. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of you guys wanted it, so here it is. Yay! Coming out very late, unfortunately, because I've gone through multiple tips to try to get this damn video out. Hopefully, I don't have to go through any more after this. But yeah, it's coming out nevertheless. There you go. Jesus. Oh, you have no idea the hell I went through trying to get this video out. But anyway, even still, yeah, man. And then, oh yeah, Tekken. All characters in Tekken rank just like with Mortal Kombat. That is happening next, so be ready for that. Whatchamacallit, yeah, so if you liked the video, once again, thank you, and if you didn't, fuck you, cry me a river. or go cry about it to some wrestling forums or whatever. Because I can already see the responses now. Glad that you don't run WWE in real life. Shut your bitch ass up. Anyway, yeah, so with all that being said, this has been your boy, Bootyhunter, give you guys another anchor, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, this better be the final take. This better be it. And this video better come out right, or I'm gonna fucking scream.
Thank you for being an ass and not watching the whole video. You didn't listen to a single damn thing I said. Thank you for being an ass. Only hearing what you wanted to and getting butthurt